I think in the West, whilst often the West can be quite individualistic in their thinking, I think when they see and they hear the stories of what's happening in a place like Aruma, they genuinely want to help. But they think, what difference can I really make? 11,000 miles away, look at the scale of this problem. Me giving $20 isn't really going to do much. So they get frozen and they never take their good intention and make it action. And Mother Teresa once said, so if you can't feed 100 children, at least feed one. And they kind of pull back because they still think, well, I'm not making a big enough dent just feeding one kid, but there's 25,000 kids here that are starving. Do you think that's the case for people in Kenya who also have means? Because about 20% of your nation are rich. Do you think they feel it's too big a task? Or do they not even think like that there? Do Kenyans who have want to help Kenyans who don't?
It's like maybe they feel like we are too far from them. That is one thing. Because even in the setups, the way families are being set up, it's like where they live, there are very few slums next to them. And sometimes they even don't realize the slums that are next to them. As in, like now, let's say in Runda, there's a slum which is just nearby them. And the other day when it was being broadcast is when they realized there was a slum that needed help just near them. So the well-up people who are living with us in Kenya, it's like they don't recognize the poor. They want their lives to run, and I feel like they are selfish, according to me. When theirs is done, they have insurance, they have medical insurance, their life is insured, and it's like they feel comfortable and forget the poor. That is it.
Okay, let me say the smaller percentage, like the 25% who are richer or rich in Kenya, mostly you get that they are politicians. And the politicians, their main tool is poverty. They don't believe in empowering the poor. So they believe that when they empower the poor, then they won't get to the seats that they need. So they'll make sure that they just give you the handouts so that you don't access the green light outside there. Two, the poor people are many. They are bigger in number. So the rich are overwhelmed. So they believe that when you help just a person or one family, one homestead, then it won't bring a solution. But saying that we have the solution in or locally, and then they're the local people to bring the solution, then it becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, I think in addition to what my colleagues are saying, reality is what Kevin has just brought. The rich people are very overwhelmed. The people who are poor are many. See the difference in percentage. And these many poor people lack a lot of basic needs that are either deprived by these rich people as a result of them wanting these poor people not to uplift themselves. So you find these big, wealthy, rich people they're the ones who run the big hospitals, they're the ones who run the industries, so they're the ones who control the employment ratio, and they decide who is employed. So the gap is more of like overwhelming to those people. Kenya, yes, there has been a call for come alongside each other, Kenya for Kenya, support one another. And this was done a few months back, and the ultimate target was to raise 500 million when the situation of drought was very serious and some other parts of Kenya people were suffering, almost dying. It only took the local people to make the people who have more wealth and more resources to realize that this thing is a big thing, because it was initiated by those people who were within the slum level. So the rich people also tend to neglect this. They see poverty, they assume it. Some don't even know where these slums are, just like Josephine said. Some live next to them, but they don't care. Some don't even understand the lifestyle of these people. They see them as illiterate people, uneducated people, people who don't deserve any benefit, because to them, they believe they sweat for their wealth, forgetting that all the work that make them rich is done by these local people who live in the slum, who they employ every now and then to run their errand. So it's more of neglect, and yes, true, they are overwhelmed, and partly it's their way of like depriving us to raise. It's a political thing as well for the politician to use. Yeah.